Hey, I wanted to show you what's new in Scythe Pre-alpha version 0.2.0. The first thing is I added smooth edges, which is these soft normals and hard normals here. Uh, you can see, like, the way the light hits this. This one's not set up, neither is this one. But as we go over here, look at how much smoother that one looks on the corners there. It's almost like it's beveled, and so on and so forth over here. Like over here, you can see this pillar here looks like it's a part of it, whereas this one looks like kind of that retro 1999 look still. And I'll show you how to do that. So here's kind of like here's the setup we want. We want our normal like pillar here, and then we just want to put two cuts on the side of each edge. And then you can highlight the edge and do soft normal, and then you will get that effect. So how do we chop that up? So I'm going to go into face mode, and then I'm going to hit C for cut. And then it's important to actually highlight all of the faces when doing this. It's a lot faster. So for this, you want to be like either 5 or 10 away from the edge, but it really depends on how, kind of treat it like a bevel. Like how big do you want your bevel to be? So like this one is 10, and this one over here is 5. So you can see the slight effect you get on these two different the distances. So I'm just going to show you the 10. So I'll just do this again. I'm going to select one, hit Control A, hit C, and I'm going to make a cut 10 away. And when I cut it, it cuts it on both sides. And why did it do that? Because I selected all of the faces. I'm going to do that again. Do that again. And that should be it. So then I select each edge here that I want to smooth. And then hit soft normals or J. And you saw it for a moment, it's just a subtle effect, but there you go. Now it's suddenly nice and smooth. So you can use that without, instead of having to use bevel everywhere and kind of messing up your UVs and all that. It's like it just makes really nice UVs. Look, everything just looks really nice. And this is how like Half-Life Alyx made their stuff like look so good, and also looks so good in VR and stuff like that. It's just a really cool technique. And then duplicate faces. Everybody's been asking for this. So this is in now. You can just hit duplicate. There you go. Got it. And now you're just like, oh, I want it to be in its own thing. You just hit extract. Now it's its own mesh. And with that also, this is a little change I made. When you extract it now it like compacts the materials down so it doesn't bring any extra materials with it that were on the mesh before. So you can save on a lot of draw calls. And then let's see what else I did. Oh yeah, so I set this now. So down here in my materials, watch this, and when I click one of these. So I'll just select this concrete, and as I just click each one, when I select it in the content browser, it just makes it the active material. You can turn that off in the settings, but it's kind of nice. And with that, I want to show, this is, if you know who Joe Wintergreen is, this is his texture browser that he just came out with. It's kind of like a little buddy plugin that it just works really well with Scythe, and I made it work a little bit better too by adding that thing that I just showed you guys. But basically, it shows you all the materials the way they should be seen. If you played with Hammer before, you know, this should look real familiar. So instead of looking at these spheres and wondering what these things actually look like, you can actually see the textures themselves. So when I click this, you'll see it selects it down here, which then selects this. It's great. So yeah, I'll leave a link to, you know, it's not a free plugin, it's a paid plugin, but I'll leave a link where to get that on Itch and Fab. I think he has them both on there, but I think it's just really cool. And then we can now, I'll use this one, so I'll get a different material out. So this is usually how you normally do it. You select a face and you do apply material here, but now you can select any element. So I'll select this corner here, this edge I mean, and then apply material. And now it'll apply it to all the faces that this edge connects to. And if I undo that and then select a vertex here and do the same thing, it does what you expect it to. Let's go in this mode, I like this. And that goes the same for align to grid. You know, this here, you can select an edge and it's not here. You know, it only shows up when you're in these two things. But if you learn the hotkey Control-Shift-G, and then you go in here and select like this or a multiple, and then just hit Control-Shift-G, it should actually do it. Same with vertices. And then next up I added collapse. Does what you expect it to, but sometimes it doesn't. And this is an epic bug. I'm going to see if I can make it happen. Sometimes if you go into edge mode and you select things kind of, yeah, there you go. Like that's weird. So if this happens to you, just undo and just select it in a different order or something and it'll work. It's an epic thing. I don't know. They'll fix it, I'm sure. And then some triangle tools here. We don't have a lot of these. So we got flip. So in triangle mode only, in edges, you can take this and you can flip it. And that's pretty useful. And I guess the selection mode is kind of off a little bit, but you know, you can see that could be useful. And then we also got another one, face. This is triangles only. Poke. It does that. We can poke again. I don't know, maybe this is useful. We can do something interesting with it. And yeah, those are only triangles. Those don't like turn into polygroup. So when you go back into polygroup mode, it's as if it never happened. But they're there, just so you know. Maybe that's useful. Maybe it's not. We'll see. Detach edge over here. I'll do it to a fresh one over here. It just like disconnects the edge. So, and you know, it does. You might be like, oh well, this should have disconnected this too. Not really. If you're expecting that to happen, then you should manually click that. So that can be useful. I got a new block in here. Sphere. Add new block here. There you go. You can drag it out. Oh, another thing with the block tool is when you're, you know, this was kind of annoying to some people. If I did that and then did that, now undo works. And redo. Before, like, it wouldn't work on the last thing dragged out, but now it does. I also added more icons here, like extract, attach, and stuff. So I didn't get one for collapse yet, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, I mean these need work, but I gave you guys something, you know. And then some bug fixes. Guess we'll do it on this guy. So in the last What's New video, I think I talked about clean and how it kind of breaks things. So now if you clean, it shouldn't do that. Probably. You know, it used to like cut all these up. And if you ever see that again, if you ever see the weird thing where there's like multiple cuts in these and you feel like it shouldn't be like that, just do this and clean it again. It's important to highlight the entire, like hit a face, hit Control A to select all the faces, and then clean. When you do that, it remeshes it and then it retriangulates it. But if you do just this, like I'll just choose a few and then clean it, it just retriangulates. So hopefully that solves the issue we were having. If not, I'll work on it some more, but you know, it's great so far. And then the ghost materials bug that some people are running into where, you would look at your mesh and you would have extra materials that aren't actually there. I rewrote the way apply material works. So now it should compact things quite a bit better. And that should be all gone now. Now you shouldn't crash. You should be able to do whatever you want now. Probably. It's better now. So that bug right there should help bring us more towards using this in production, even though I know a lot of you are using this in production, and it's why I'm like, oh, I gotta fix that bug. So that should be fixed. If it's not and you crash after doing like if you crash after doing align to grid or like applying a new material or whatever, let me know. And cleaning shouldn't remove materials really. I don't really know what's going on there sometimes, I don't get that, but I'll fix that. Sometimes it removes materials, sometimes it doesn't. And then when you do, if you did this, there's another kind of bug fix. If you did this and did connect, before you'd have to do another align to grid before you were able to kind of move these around without the other one moving too, because they were still like one UV island, but now these separate into different UV islands as soon as you cut it. And the same thing with cut now. So if I do this, see, now they're separate. So that should save you that extra step of having to click this, Let's see, what else do I got? Also, if you had bugs with the connect edges thing, I fixed a ton of bugs. So, undo works even better now. Some of my code, I was like, how does this even work? But now it does work. On the wrap texture thing, some people, I won't name any names, but some people were using wrap texture, which is alt right click. They're using it way too much. It's not even fully in yet. It barely works. It barely does anything. But they were using it to like apply, like just copy the material over to the next face. So that was like bugging their mesh a lot of the time. So I made it so you can still do that. You can do this and copy the material over with alt right mouse button, and that's all it's going to do. It's going to copy it over. It's going to scale it properly according to the texture, but it won't bug your mesh anymore, probably. I think. yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. The big heavy hitter though is this really cool smooth normals thing and duplicate face. Everybody was really into that. Of course, the ghost material fix too. So yeah, uh, I'll have this up soon. Enjoy.